Are you going to allow the coronavirus and the hysteria, this panic and fear and uncertainty that society is trying to oppress on you, are you going to let that take over? This is the coronavirus episode, Monday, March 16th. You are watching or listening to the Empire Podcast. Hey guys, Bedros here. And listen, I wanted to do this impromptu podcast for one reason and one reason only. I want to make sure that a year from now, when you are looking back on this whole coronavirus pandemonium that's going on, hysteria that's going on, I want you to be able to say, here's how I grew from it, here's how I profited from it, and here's how I served people from it, versus here's how the coronavirus and the whole pandemic issue about it made me go broke and bankrupt. All right, so a year from now, I'm gonna help you position yourself to win when you look back on this date, Monday, March 16th, a year from now. So let's get started. Listen, I don't know anything about the coronavirus itself. Some say it's like the flu virus. Some say it's worse than the flu virus. You can get it by touching and sneezing and coughing and whatever. Guess what? I'm not a medical doctor. I'm going to assume all of that is true. What I do know is this, that people are getting hysterical. What I do know is that people are starting to hoard food and toilet paper and hand sanitizer and all that stuff. Finally, today, I decided to walk into the grocery stores to see what was going on, and it kind of reminded me of Armenia when I was a kid living in a communist country. You know, the Soviet stores, they weren't even supermarkets. They were like small stores. Like they had empty shelves, and they would get 3, 4, 5 loaves of bread at a time, or 1 or 2 cartons of milk at a time, and you would have to wait in a long line to hopefully get access to that food in that store. And if not, then you wait for the next delivery that comes that night or the next day. And so everything was rationed. And so it was a scary scene to see that. But I can tell you that there's people who have enough Purell freaking hand sanitizer and toilet paper and canned goods to last them until freaking 20 years from now. And it's the stupidity of those who are hoarding out of fear, uncertainty, and panic that are causing others to freak out. So what do you do? What do you do? Typically, you could either go the kind of the mob mentality and start freaking out yourself and panicking, or you can go, listen, I'm not going to get paranoid, but I am going to get prepared. I'm not going to panic, but I will prepare. And so that's what I want to talk to you about. Right now, this moment, people are shifting their business models to either go bankrupt and give in and die because of this coronavirus phenomenon. Others are shifting their business models to adapt and overcome and profit. You definitely should be the ones looking to adapt, overcome, and profit. But first, let's talk about your headspace, because until you get your shit right, you're not going to be able to adapt, overcome, and profit where your business or your work is concerned. Now look, I'm the founder and CEO of Fit Body Bootcamp, right? What does that mean? Well, I have a lot of responsibilities to hundreds of Fit Body Bootcamp owners worldwide. And as Fit Body Bootcamp locations are being forced to shut down for at least a minimum of 2 weeks. It started last night in the county of LA, Los Angeles. And by the time we woke up this morning, Pennsylvania, New York, Michigan had already gotten on board with it, that any kind of gym, any kind of restaurant, any bars and places of entertainment like movie theaters, pool halls, arcades, were to stay closed, because if people can congregate, they can infect each other. Guess what happens when you are a gym owner and all of a sudden you have to close your gym down? You're going to get clients reaching out to you and asking you, hey, I want to cancel my membership, or I want to freeze my membership until I start using it. So as a leader, I had to step up and get in front of this thing. And a few days ago, we already started working on our online coaching platform so that we can take all of our clients from Fit Body Bootcamp locations worldwide and shift them to an online coaching platform using Facebook private groups and trainerized platform and really help them through follow-along workouts and mindset coaching and nutrition coaching on a daily and weekly basis until we get past this disaster. Because if we can still keep coaching up the clients and giving them the results that they want, keeping their stress low, and which means that they're going to keep their immune system high, then they're going to want to keep paying our Fit Body Bootcamp locations. Why am I using that as an example? Because you might be in a position where you have to make a pivot right now, just like we did, if you want to stay profitable, stay in business, and be able to weather this storm. Now, here's how I look at it. Remember, I said a year from now, you can look back and go, holy hell, I made a lot of money from this, and I've got a new income stream in my business. As we're developing this whole online coaching platform for Fit Body Bootcamp locations, we're quickly seeing that, at least I am, that this could be a viable option for clients who don't necessarily want to work out at a Fit Body Bootcamp if they run into some kind of financial hardship down the line. Or people who can't afford to work out at a Fit Body Bootcamp, they can pay a smaller fee and do the online workouts. And so what we're doing right now, building this online coaching platform using Facebook private groups and trainerize and follow along videos and nutrition mindset coaching to really bridge the gap that the coronavirus is causing. What we're doing now is really putting us in a position where we can have a business model down the road that adds an additional income stream. And that is a huge thing, because the moment we can add an additional income stream, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, Fit Body Bootcamp locations will be making even more money, and that is ultimately what we're after, right? And we want to help make, obviously, clients more fit, more athletic, change their lives, and we want to make money. And so think about what you can do in your business. What is the pivot that you can make today if you're having to shut down, if you're getting less clients and customers coming into your business, to your website, signing up for your coaching program? Is there a lower level coaching program that you can start? Is there some kind of something that was in person, now you can do online and remote? Is there something that you can do that you can really knock out and create a new course that people can study and follow along during this time that they're potentially going to be quarantined? There's so many things you can do when you start thinking creatively and thinking about profitability and purpose, as in serving your clients and customers and community, versus thinking in a state of panic and fear and uncertainty where all we think about is like, gosh, well, I lost my job, or I lost my business, or I'm going to lose my business. I have to fire employees. My revenue's going to stop. My income's going to go away. I'm going to have to lose my apartment or my home, and my car's going to get impounded. Yeah, all that can happen if you go the route of panic. But if you go the route of profitability, of really preparing your clients and customers to still win, to still succeed, still giving them the results, still solving the problems that they have, there's no reason why they're going to stop paying you. In fact, there's no reason why you can't get more clients and customers in this time right now. And before you know it, you might have created an additional profit stream for your business when you go back to doing business the old way, but now you also have this new way of making revenue. And that's what I want to share with you. But all of that is a byproduct of your mindset. So let's talk about your mindset right now. For years, I've been talking about something that I heard Tony Robbins say. Several years ago, I had the good opportunity to share the stage with Tony Robbins at Joe Polish's Genius Network event when I was a speaker there. And as Tony Robbins was wrapping up his talk on stage, I was getting mic'd up to take the stage and speak next. And I'm way across the ballroom, getting mic'd up in the sound booth, the audio-video sound booth. And I'm watching Tony Robbins as he's finishing his talk. And the big thing that he said is, look, all entrepreneurs can thrive during spring and summer. He says, but the real entrepreneurs will identify themselves when winter comes. And he said, make no mistake about it, winter is coming. And when he said that, I realized in that moment that that's true. That, this great economic state that we have and that we've been having for a long time is just a phase. There is going to be some economic disaster. Maybe it's going to come in the form of terrorist attack. Maybe it's going to come in the form of gas prices. Maybe it's going to come in the form of the stock market crashing. Who knows? And maybe it comes in the form of a disease or a virus like we're dealing with right now with this coronavirus that's going around, right? But the reality is that winter is coming. And so ever since I heard Tony Robbins say that, and I've always known that business is cyclical, success is cyclical, I've always been the kind of person who's prepared and always tell my coaching clients and my franchisees to stay prepared. But I never had a real word for it, like winter is coming. And when he said that, boy, I made sure that I was able to echo that and always give credit to Tony Robbins on that winter is coming. We must prepare. If you want to know who's going to survive and thrive, you will see that happen during winter, during times like this, when the economy crashes, when there's uncertainty, when people want to not spend their money. You will see who is willing to expand versus majority of the people are going to contract and die, shrivel up and die. They're going to stop marketing. They're going to stop promoting. They're going to lay off employees. And they're going to go into save money mode. I can tell you this, I've never met any entrepreneur who became a billionaire or a millionaire by saving their way to millions, by saving their way to billions. Everyone I know who's a millionaire and billionaire has become a millionaire and billionaire by spending money on marketing ads, spending money on salespeople to convert those ads into paying clients, on people to deliver the support and service, on product, right? You want to expand when everyone else contracts, but do you have the mindset to do that? Well, the difference is, are you built for winter or are you only built for summer and spring when things have to be just right, just perfect for you to thrive and succeed? And again, I share that with you and I challenge you because right now, this is an acute phase that we're going through. This is not a chronic phase that we're going to be going through the coronavirus for a year where half the world's population is going to die. But most people are reacting as though this is a chronic phase where half the world's population is going to die. And if you are reacting that way right now and getting caught up in the social media hype, then you're going to be in such panic state, you're going to be in such a state of uncertainty and doubt that you just certainly will not have the clarity and the creativity to create the new income streams and the new solutions to the problems that are now available to people that you can solve to make money. And I want you to understand that. This winter right here is temporary. Sure, it is going to have an economic repercussion, and that too will be temporary. And in that economic repercussion, we will find people who are successful. When you look at all the millionaires that were made during the Industrial Revolution or during the Great Depression, when the economy crashes, people who expand and are risk takers and have great solutions to big problems that people have, those are the people who come out of an economic downturn as millionaires and billionaires. Listen, I'm one of those people. In 2008, the economy crashed, right? The housing market crashed, the financial economy crashed, and well, personal trainers, one-on-one personal training was not popular anymore. Most people couldn't afford to pay $600 to $1,200 a month for one-on-one personal training. And so I said, what can we do to take that outdoor boot camp, group training boot camp, and bring it indoors so that we can do it everywhere, across every state and every country, make it weatherproof. And by doing boot camps, we can make them convenient and affordable. Because now instead of just having one client working out at 5 a.m. one-on-one, you can have 30, 40 clients working out with one coach and save a lot of money, right? And I said, what if we can charge like $150, $160 a month instead of $600 to $1,200 a month and really train more clients? And so when the economy crashed, I went into solution mode, launched Fit Body Bootcamp, and by late 2010, we were a licensing program. By 2012, we became a franchise, and then it was just hockey stick, where we ended up on the Inc. fastest 5,000 growing list, Entrepreneur Magazine's 500 fastest growing franchises 3 years in a row now. And I share that with you because it was all because of the economic crash that we had in 2008 and me willing to look for a new problem to solve. And that new problem was personal trainers need clients. They need a switch to group training. That group training model that takes place outdoors is not weatherproof. And if I can make it weatherproof and climate controlled and add equipment and bring it indoors, then we can propagate that everywhere. And that became Fit Body Bootcamp, the international fitness brand that we have now, right? And I can list off others who became millionaires and billionaires and launched their companies during that time of crisis of 2008. So I share this with you. Are you going to allow the coronavirus and the hysteria and this panic and fear and uncertainty that society is trying to oppress on you, are you going to let that take over? Or are you going to take control of your faculties? Are you going to say, look, I'm going to control what I can, I'm going to cope with what I can't control, and I'm going to concentrate on what counts? And if I could end this message in any way, It is that way. I want you to focus on the 3 C's that matter right now. Control what you can. What can you control right now in your life? You can control how you sleep, which is going to boost your immune system. You're going to control what you eat. Eat low carbs, low sugar, right? Eat foods that are going to help keep your immune system high. And carbs, sugar, and excessive amounts of fat are not it. You want veggies, you want proteins, and you want some healthy fats like avocado and fish oils. And if you can have a healthy nutrition plan in place and control that, you can have great sleeping habits, you're going to boost your immune system. If you can work out, well, hey, gyms are closed. Go work out outdoors or go find and sign up at your local Fit Body Bootcamp and do the online coaching that we're going to have. Do the online workouts that we're going to have. Get in the Facebook private group where there's a community of uplifting people who want to support you and encourage you instead of oppressing you with fear and uncertainty, right? But if you can control your workouts, control your sleep, control your nutrition, control your hydration, control your thoughts, the thoughts that occupy your mind determine so much of your anxiety versus your happiness. And if you can take control, the first C, take control of all those things, you're going to do so well in boosting your immune system and fighting off any potential of not only coronavirus, but this negative toxic virus that people are putting out of fear, doubt, and uncertainty. So control what you can. Then you're going to cope with what you can't control. Look, if we get quarantined, you're going to have to cope with that. Use that as an opportunity to learn, to educate yourself, to read books. Don't sit there like a motard in front of your computer or TV, binge watching Netflix and Amazon, eating chips and ho-hos and not drinking water, and all of a sudden find yourself dying from coronavirus. I know I got a little extreme there, but that's kind of how I see it unfolding, right? Instead, if we're going to get quarantined, hey, you can't control that, but you can cope with it. Read books. Go to YouTube and watch educational videos. Buy courses online and go through them so that you can come out of this more positive, optimistic, and profitable, right? So cope with what you can't control. You can't control the media, so cope with it. Turn off the media. Give yourself small windows to catch on the media, to just catch what's going on, and then get back off the media, both social media and news media, and go work on the things that you can control, right? Do 150 burpees every single day. Like, why not? Why not? What if you just added 150 burpees every single day throughout what might be a potential quarantine? And we don't know if the quarantine is going to happen. And if it happens, we don't know if it's going to be a week, 2 weeks, or 5 weeks, or 6 weeks. And so you have to learn to cope with the things that you can't control. You can't control the virus. You can't control the media. You can't control the quarantine, but you can control what you do, what you think, how you sleep, how you eat, how you exercise, your mindset during that time, right? So control what you can control, cope with what you can't control, and concentrate on what counts. And I want you to concentrate on how does it look on the other side of this coronavirus? How does it look on the other side of this economic downturn that we're going into? Are you going to be part of the solution in serving people, helping people, impacting lives? Or are you going to be part of the problem and part of the larger unemployment rate that we're going to have? Are you going to be one of the people that we're going to have to bail out through financial help or economic help or unemployment, fees, etc.? Do not be part of the problem. Do not succumb to the problem. And that only happens by controlling the variables that you can control, cope with what you can't control, and concentrate on what counts, which is coming out the other side a winner, a person who takes full responsibility for your action, a person who can solve problems in exchange for money, and a person who is optimistic and willing to serve. Because I'll tell you this, and this is the best way to finish it, no one is going to come to your rescue but you. If you think some government entity, FEMA, Small Business Administration, or anybody else, there's going to be a man or a woman on a white horse that's going to gallop in and save your day, that person doesn't exist. Do not look for your local government to help you, to support you. Like, in the end, it's you. You are the man or woman on the white horse that's going to gallop in and save your own ass. You're it. And if you can't do it, who will? And you'll either end up becoming a liability to society or you'll become an asset to society. And those two things over the next 2 to 4 weeks will determine your long-term, a year from now, on March 16th, 2001, a year from now, when you look back, you're either going to say, man, that coronavirus and the economic crash that came from it really fucked me up, or you're going to say, man, I can't believe we had that coronavirus and that economic crash, because it really gave me the opportunity to thrive by building my emotional quotient, EQ, by building my AQ, my adversity quotient. I can deal with more adversity now, and I've been able to help more people, solve more problems in exchange for money, and I feel a sense of significance and value. And that's the difference. I want you to be the guy or gal a year from now to look back and have gained something big. Income, impact, and influence when you look back a year from now. Not being a liability. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you so much. Please make sure as many people as possible listen to this podcast. If there was any one podcast I want you to share today, tomorrow, and during this time of crisis where coronavirus or any kind of economic downturn is concerned, I want you to share this podcast on your social media. Give people the link. Send people the link to the YouTube video, to the actual podcast, to empirepodcast.com. Tag all the people that you need to hear this, because I truly believe that if messages like this reach more people, that collectively we can turn that corner and come out profitable, prosperous, happy, and have helped a lot of people. Take care, guys. Love you all. Have a great one. See ya.